All right, guys, we're at the Barndominium build. Michael here, Ask Mike Guyver. All right, so now we're in the master suite, corner of the old barn. This shower is amazing. This is the first time that we've ever used full-size 4-foot by 8-foot porcelain wall tile panels. Look how clean that looks. And it's a huge shower. We set up a motion sensor underneath the floating vanities. So when someone walks in at nighttime to use a restroom, use a sink, the lights turn on automatically. And instead of having to turn on all of the lights and blind them. Nice little feature, a little bit extra. They go back to bed, timer turns off. So we're able to keep the existing wraparound porch that the barn had before. Other than a few improvements, we got concrete down, we spruced it up, put a new fresh coat of paint on, and then we made a major addition change. The outdoor living space. Coming right off of the double patios door behind me, this is where we spend most of our time hanging out, is outside. Let's take a look at the laundry room. Still a couple finishing details, as you can see, that we're working through. But there's always details on a brand new house. Notice how the light came on when I first walked in? We put another motion switch in. In and out, in and out. This is a laundry working area. So as a contractor, when I'm building this thing, my main focus is on the bones, the things that you cannot see. The structural posts, the structural beams, the insulation, the type of wiring that we ran, the plumbing, everything. That's where my focus was. Now we're looking at the finishing products. These are little details that make a difference, also create longevity. Check out the doors. Solid pine doors, solid wood, not hollow core. This is for sound deadening, and it's also for longevity. They just open and close so much easier than a cheap door. So this is just a little tidbit on the project. When we were bringing in the majors, and that would be the main water line and the main electrical line, we had to move the breaker from one location of the structure to another. Well, beyond this wall is an existing concrete slab that was in the barn before. We brought every single bit of equipment in that we could fit through the doorway with jackhammer attachments to try to break up the concrete and yield nothing. It was like a screwdriver and a hammer. This concrete was not going anywhere. So the electrical actually comes in underneath this space. There's nothing we could do about it. So in order to incorporate it into the design, we built this base. This is going to be a display center for my mother-in-law for all of her awesome knickknacks, Christmas village, whatever she wants to put on the year. So after we built this base, we had to do something else with the rest of the wall. That's what ended up turning into the shiplap and the floating shelves. You've seen us do floating shelves before. These are a little bit more special because these are handmade to the size, the dimensions, and the architectural of the stair slope. So these we built by hand, and as you can see, it finishes the wall nicely. It's really cool to see a transformation from the beginning to the end. I'm actually standing in what used to be the old tack room apartment for the barn. Tack room, meaning it was a functioning apartment. It had a bathroom, somewhat functional. That was it. No kitchen, no kitchenette. Had a fridge, had a bed, had a loft. The wall came to right about here-ish, the middle of the master bed. And then this whole area were huge doors, and the doors were so big I could drive my truck through them, straight through the barn. As you can see now, it's all closed off and part of the master suite. All right, I got to take a moment to give some serious props to my team. The guys that I had working on this project, well, they knew it was for my in-laws, so they did bring a little bit extra A game to the job site during the day, but The brick layer. Let's talk about the brick layer. So let me talk just a little bit about these openings. Right here, there used to be a window. Well, it obviously what's not going to work out because that's where the fireplace is going to be going on the other side of the wall. Here, I think the camera might be able to pick it up. From the eye standing here is really hard. This is new brick. This is how my bricklayer was able to match not only the brick and the grout and the mortar and the finished look. It looks like there was never a huge doorway here. Because again, the barn had an east side, west side entrance all the way through. And now we have a front door installed in that place. He did an amazing job all the way around this entire structure. This stone is not painted. This is all just natural. This is how it came. Some of the stone came from the side of the wall where we had removed it before. We just repurposed it and put it back over here. So this is natural. This is how it looked coming out of the factory. I love standing out here. This is majority the original portion of the barn. Every single opening that you see where there's windows, there were existing windows in there, but they were just wood shutters. They're window openings, no glass, wide open. We repurposed those openings, put windows in, and then incorporated the interior design to flow with those window openings. This concrete I'm standing on was never here. We poured over 35 yards of additional concrete all the way around this existing covered porch. All we did to repurpose this is paint all the existing wood, the black that you see. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same way it was 20, 30 years ago. Hey guys, Michael here with Ask Mike Guyver. This episode is going to be a lot different than my previous episodes that I've done because this was an entire home build. Not just a remodel, not just a home, but also a home for my in-laws. We've been working on this thing for about the last 6 months. It's finally coming to the tail end. So if you are looking for any kind of renovations for your existing home, a new home, or a new home build, we're here to help you out. Ask Mike Guyver for remodeling. Look forward to hearing from you.